So what's the best way of dealing with guilt? Let's say you acted like a dick to someone and now you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have. And you still think about it and you can't make it right because the person's gone now, or they don't want to hear your apology.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's a good question. How to deal with feelings of guilt because you were a dick. Obviously, nobody watching this has ever done anything stupid to anyone, so it's not for you guys. But maybe you have a friend that could, use this information, right? Because people are so good that listen. The people that watch my videos, they would never do anything stupid like that because they're so loving. So it's about resolving whatever is in you that's because that's feeling poopy, basically. So it's about making peace with yourself. When you make peace with it yourself, then the energy will just be gone, and it won't. Because the funny thing is, we think that we've hurt somebody, so we think that there's still something there. Most people have forgotten about shit, right? Most people have already moved on with their lives and they're not even thinking about it. But because you have the guilt, that's energy that's stuck within you. So you have to get that energy moving and make peace with whatever that is. And then it's actually over. And when you actually do a process that releases the energy, people keep having weird things happen. Like right after you do it, the person contacts you and goes, hey, I just wondering how you're doing and stuff. You see what I'm saying? And I've got all kinds of stories I've heard that are like really weird synchronicities of things happening like that.
How do you release
it? Just accepting what happened, accepting that you're not perfect, sitting with it. I mean, you can do certain practices, but as long as you get to that point where you forgive yourself for not being like, it's this idea that we have the program here that's got everyone by the balls is this idea that we're supposed to be perfect. And if we did something that's not perfect or we fucked up, then we're somehow not worthy. We're not worthy of love, or we're bad because we did something wrong once, or we did something that wasn't perfect or whatever. It's ridiculous. The human condition is imperfection. The human condition, we're so traumatized, we're so programmed, we're so abused in the system. Everyone's got stuff. Everyone's got programs. No, everyone's got shadows. That's just the human condition. So, that essence of us, what we really are, is infinite consciousness, infinite love. That is perfect because that's basically God, right? That aspect of us, perfect. In a human body, everyone's got stuff, right? So when you recognize everyone's got stuff and you start and you're not guilty about it, you can let it go. So one of the processes that's really good for this, Ho'oponopono, which is really, really simple. There's plenty of videos about it. And it's literally just to the other person, whether they're in front of you or whether they're somewhere else on the planet. It doesn't matter. It's just about the energy. So it's just about tuning into the person and basically saying, hey, for whatever my part was, because it's always two people, right? It's always like they did something, you did something. So whatever my part was, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you.
And you're just saying that to yourself, not
you're saying it, but energetically you're directing it to wherever
the person.
Sure. So if it's to do with a person, sure. If it could be your own thing, you just be feeling shitty about something. You could just be forgiving yourself for where there's no other person involved. But mostly it's going to be with people, right? Mm-hmm. So you're just sending that energy out. You say, hey, for whatever my part is, please forgive me. I'm sorry. And I love you. And the most important part, just being I love you, because love is the thing that actually blasts everything. As long as that love is there, the love room, because that's our nature. We are love. So if we actually focus on I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, it's over. It blasts.
Sometimes it's hard to love the other person because maybe you do feel some resentment over something they did.
Sure, but that's going to be your shadow. That's going to be your bullshit. Right? So if you get past the bullshit, there's only infinite consciousness, infinite love forever. That's our nature. So it doesn't matter whether the shadow is with them or with you. It doesn't matter. Love conquers all. Love eradicates all of it. So whether you need to love yourself or love them, you're actually loving the same infinite being that is both of you. So it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter if it's your shit or their shit. It's just shit. It's just shit.
Yeah.
Hey man, are you vibing with this advice? We got a whole community of dudes just loving on each other, supporting each other, and helping each other become more awesome. That's right. The Infinite Man community. You want a piece of it. Come on in. The water's warm.
What if they are remembering it and they bring it up to you and they're like, hey, I still feel resentment over this thing you did.
Perfect. Then you can do the practice right to their face. Yes, I see my part in that, and whatever. I've changed now. I was a different person back then, but yes, I see what I did, and I see my part. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. P.S. And I love you.
That's all.
I love you. I love you is the most important part. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And I'm starting to do this practice now myself with one of my exes who, a lot of stuff happened. It's easy so the ego always wants to go, it's mainly their fault, right? I might have had a little bit, but it's mainly them, right? And it's like, come on, man. They're saying the exact same thing, right? Everybody wants to be like the good guy and it's mainly they fucked up.
Yeah.
So it's like, as soon as we just go, look, we're all traumatized. We're all going around hurting each other because we're all, we've all got the same stuff going on. Then that's it. Then it's no big deal. You just do the cleaning. Just do the work.
And you have to kind of do it a few times, I suppose.
Until it's gone.
Because
Just keep doing it.
Like it sinks its claws into you, that guilt.
Yeah.
You think you've gotten over it, and then a couple weeks pass, and you're like, shit, I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you previously?
Yeah, I've had stuff bothering me for years before.
How do you resolve that open loop?
Honestly, the thing is, when you do enough healing, then all of it goes away. Like, because when you really are love and you recognize your nature is love and you go around and you're just trying to spread love, some shit that happened 5 years ago, it's like it doesn't matter. When you remember your true nature, when you really know that your nature is love and so is everybody else, then everything goes out the window because there's only love. That's all there is. What you did fucking in the past when you were damaged or whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change who you are. No one can actually change their true nature. Everybody is love. Everybody is infinite consciousness. Everyone is that infinite being. We can't change that. What we can do is do the cleaning work and the healing and whatever we need to do to get to that place. That's all awakening is. It's just remembering our true nature. And once we remember our true nature, all the stuff that's not that goes. It goes out. So that's all we're doing as humans, doing the healing, doing the awakening until we all remember that we're one. That's all we're doing here, remembering oneness.
You said there have been things like bothered you for years.
It's hard. It's hard to even remember.
And eventually,
Like, for example, there was one woman who I was deeply in love with. Like, we had the most amazing sex. You ever have that? You ever have really crazy sex with someone where you're like, it can never be this good again? Where you can't even believe it's happening when it's happening. You're like, it can't be this good. So I had that, madly in love with this woman. And I had to leave her because I was in my pickup phase and I had to go around the world and teach guys how to talk to girls, and that was my life's purpose. And I had to pick between, okay, do I stay with this woman I'm fucking crazy about who I want to marry and make babies with, or like go and do my purpose? And I picked my purpose, and I was always going to pick my purpose because I know myself. And so I regret, dude, I was depressed for a year. I'm fully in love with this woman, and I just like, okay, see you later. It was brutal, man. That was brutal. So yeah, I regretted that for years, thinking back, oh fuck, did I do the right thing? Beating myself up. What if I never find anyone again? The whole story. But ultimately, when you get to know yourself, I had to do my that's what I had to do, because that was me. That's literally what I was doing with my life, helping other people, and that's it. I was always going to make that decision. It's only the ego that beats you up, right? Oh, you could have done this. You could have done it different. It's the ego. It's not reality. You are infinite love forever. Anything that's not thinking thoughts of like, you are love, how do we spread love, how do we help other people, anything that's not that isn't you. It's actually just, it's trauma. It's shadow. It's data that needs to be cleaned. That's Hao Len, who teaches Ho'oponopono. He just calls it data. He just goes, it's just data. If you wipe the data, what's left? You, the real you.
So
the rest is just data.
On top of
everything.
You. Like it's not the real you. It's just code.
It's information. Yeah.
Or written yourself.
That's it. And he just cleans it. He just literally cleans it. Okay.
Who said this?
Dr. Hao Len. He's the Hawaiian guy who basically kind of made Ho'oponopono sort of, or he's one of its biggest proponents.
These 4 phrases, you're cleaning that code. You're just
cleaning information. Yeah. Basically, yeah.
And in the end, that regret about that woman, it just dissipated, or what? How did you resolve it? Just curious.
It just, the more I found myself and the more I healed, it just went away. Yeah. And now I just have a lot of respect and a lot of gratitude, because I'm just grateful to her that I had that experience and that I was able to see what kind of that crazy passion was. And I know that yeah, she was a teacher for me and I was a teacher for her. And even though we had a short time together, it was magical. And yeah, and you know, I know I'll have that. I'm just grateful for that I had that experience, because I know I'll never settle. I'll never settle until I have that level of passion with somebody.
Yeah.
And and if that's all it was for me in that lesson and whatever, and it's all good.
So you can look back on that and not feel
Yeah.
Triggered or wounded.
No,
anymore.
no. Now it's just love and gratitude.
That's good.
Love and gratitude. Yeah. And interestingly, with that example, for the last few weeks, I was actually wanting to message her and just say, hey, I'm just really grateful and thank you. And, you know, I'm just really grateful I met you. I hope you're good. Even though we you know, we stay in touch once in a while, but it had been a while since we were in touch.
You have stayed in touch a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And so, but even when I energetically was like, oh, I really want to send her that message and just say, I love you, I hope you're good, whatever, I just was lazy and didn't send the message. But guess what? A couple weeks later, she messaged me, hey, you've been in my field. I've been thinking about you. How are you? Right? And I'm just like, fuck, I've been meaning to message you. And I've just been lazy.
And she
right?
felt that energy.
Yeah. And so we're literally now, we sent some videos and we're going to hop on a call in the next couple of days and catch up.
And that's what you mean.
Isn't
you send out that energy?
Yeah, I didn't even make the video. I was just like, oh, I love her. I just want to send her that, hey, I hope you're good. I love you. I'm so grateful for the experience that we had. Just energetically, I was already sending that out, even though I was too lazy to make the video and send it. Didn't matter. She already got the energy, and then she messaged me back. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I heard a story where someone would send
There's so many
letters
stories
to people. He would write the letter, he'd put in an envelope, he'd never send it. And then
and
it would resolve itself.
Exactly.
Whatever was in the letter.
Exactly.
It's as
Because
if it
we're
was
one.
sent.
We're energy beings. The body is just a thing we come into to have this crazy experience and whatever and learn and blah, blah, blah. But we're energy. We're infinite energy.
So if I wanted to really apologize to someone, and let's say they're not willing to hear me out, I could do it energetically. Just
Sure.
to them.
Sure.
In mentally or through
Absolutely.
a letter or something.
Anything. It's just energy. That's what it is. It's really powerful. It's energy. Everything's energy. We're energy. So there you go.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, right?